Mick, incredibly emotional you were in the final moments there. Could you just take us through your thoughts and some of those emotions for...
Not really. I'll try. It's a blur. I really... The last quarter we tried to... I'll have to lead up to it because I just thought that we just weren't on, but we hung in there. Full credit to Hawthorn. I said before that either side of a goal is bad luck or good luck, and they were on the other side and we were on the plus side. But I thought they controlled the game enough, but we didn't let them go, and I reckon that's testament to the leadership group. And we dug deep at three-quarter time and thought if we can just sneak one back early, it might just rattle it a little bit. And if we can get a couple, it'll just drag us back again into a low-scoring game it was very difficult to score. Clearly it was. It's a finals. It's a top finals game for two defensive sides. We were one and they were probably 3 or 4, and last month they've probably been the best defensive side. So nothing was going to come easy. In fact, very rarely in our side have we ever had most of our goals, I think to three-quarter time, scored by all our tools. So the hope for me was that our mediums would start to scoreboard pressure a bit, and as it turned out, Davis kicked one and whatever else happened. But emotionally at the end, I suppose when only Buddy would kick that goal. I don't think there's another player on this planet that would kick that goal, and it's not a fluke. And I could just think at that time, I thought, God, we've worked that hard. But by working that hard, I thought we had a little bit more in us. And I just try to... Jeff Walsh, I don't know if he's gone deaf or not, but anyway, he'd be down the other end trying to reorganise the structure because we knew what Hawthorn would do. They'd throw everyone behind. It's important that we got someone up. So the blur was, when it took place, that we had left one behind, but we also pushed pretty hard in to negate their two defensive players. And there's a couple of tackles made by blokes that had no right to make them because they were out on their feet. There's a couple of blokes out there that did something pretty miraculous, and you can't help get emotional about it because they're just wonderful blokes. And I've worked with some of these blokes for 12 years, others leading up to 2 or 3 years. So it's one of those times, I suppose, if it went the other way, that's the last game. I didn't want that to influence the game.
Mick, in the third quarter, when you were, I guess you were really looking for something because you were just hanging on. The Didac substitution, was it running through your mind, or you were deliberately holding back? Or was it?
No, I really could have made it at half time, but you just can't take the gamble. We had a couple of players that just didn't get the footy, and it was there in front of me. But we had a couple, as I said, there's 2 or 3 blokes who were just running around by sheer memory, more so than with their bodies. And we got some work to do this week to get them up, but none of them should miss. But they were all pretty sore. It was a very physical game. So when do you pull the trigger? Too early, you pull it on the wrong one. The player I had in mind halfway through the late second into the third quarter was the player we were able to substitute. He just had a bad day. So, and I thought Alan's enthusiasm and creativity. Looking here, he only had 4 possessions, but it was fresh 4, and it was a 4 that needed attention.
What was it that the Hawks were doing which was putting under that much pressure?
Oh, the Hawks played the way they've played in the last 6 to 8 weeks, 10 weeks, perhaps the season. They've used the football very well. They go forward. They always have a spare player behind the ball, and they're able to get him forward at times. We've been very good at a spare player behind the ball, very, very good, whether it be Davis, Maxwell, Eashaw, Tuvey, Reid. Reid last time had 31 possessions against them. So it doesn't faze us, but just that we weren't able to penetrate, and our use was pretty average. And I just thought that it's normally our mediums that can create that special goal. As it turned out in the last quarter, a couple of them were created by that, but the others, if I can remember them, Jolly was a mark, Cloak was a mark, Cloak was 2 marks, I think. Dawes was a couple of marks. So we had to mark the ball to score, which is, you're not going to get that against good sides. So you need to be able to be better than that. And Hawthorn played a terrific game of football. But on the other side of the coin, I'd like to think that we didn't let them get away. It's hardly a massive score at three-quarter time. There's 7 goals 11. That's not a massive score. West Coast kicked 9 goals 8 for their game. So we're doing well defensively. We're just not capitalising, perhaps, on some of the work done with the ball forward to the centre.
Michael, after the past couple of finals, what do you need to make sure it's not luck next time?
Luck that we win?
Well, this one's
yeah, it can go either way. I thought we did enough against West Coast to win the game. We'll know our opponent 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, and there's always going to be a luck component to any game of football. Is it a small piece of luck or is it a large slice of luck? You never know, but you take the luck factor away, sometimes you get everything else gets deserted, and you've got to be careful. I mean, it could be just a simple fact that you've a player that looked like having a bad day has a good day, or it might be the bounce of the ball. It could be you shift someone forward, he might kick a goal, or someone back and he might save a goal. So we'll keep working on the principles we have for 10 to 12 season, and in particular the last 3 or 4 seasons. We'll make it hard for sides to score, and we will try to make sure that we score on the rebound or score when we should be scoring, which clearly didn't happen until the last quarter. But it's a pretty good effort in the last quarter. Kick 5 goals, 7 shots, and I really can't even tell you how many times we went inside 50 in the last. Perhaps someone could help me out. Inside 50. Does anyone know? 15, and we scored 7 times. So it's still under 50%, but it's far better ratio than the rest of the game. So we know we have to do that to win games of football. We have to get 50%, around about that. Mind you, having said that, all finals games except the blowout game, clubs are running at 41 to 43% against a league average of 50+%. It just shows you where finals football takes you into, in many respects, the unknown.
Mick, Reid, for significant periods of the game, looked hampered and was obviously heavily strapped and jolly towards the end. Can you tell us where you think they're at as far as the week goes, and also Dane Beams, whether you think you'd
Well, Dane Beams just had a bad game. No matter what he did, he just didn't seem to get where the football was, and it's they're not flattering stats. I don't have to tell you any more than that. You were there. The other 2 boys, well, we're very hopeful they'll be right, but they were hampered tonight. The good thing about it is that we have 9 other players training, are all fit already, and 2 missed out by the luck of the draw in many respects. We will cover our any eventualities that may exist through the week, and we'll train those players up accordingly. And come Thursday, we'll pick a side that we expect that will be. We're not immune to, and we're not used to going in without our best side. I think a lot of people have thought we've had a dream run. Go back and have a close look. We've just kept it pretty close to our chests, and we've blooded players, and we've had players out for long lengths of time. This game here will do some players the absolute world of good, because you can't help but get a fair bit out of this. So those boys, they'll be all right.
Mick, have you shed a tear after a game that wasn't a grand final before?
No, I didn't shed a tear almost. Oh, God.
Mick, just on that, you've coached in a lot of finals, winning and losing, and there's always emotion. But is that the most emotional ride you've had in a finals match?
Oh, I just think it's coming to a finish, and I've never been confronted with this scenario before. And I think you put yourself in that position. You've been a journalist for umpteen number of years, and all of a sudden it's going to finish. You reflect too often, perhaps. You're starting to project too far in front to see what it's going to be without football, without that cut and thrust, being at the mine pit. It's something that has been part of me for 40 years. It's going to be very difficult to just stop. There it is. It's finished. So
you're clearly delighted to work an extra week in the longest
I
season
am
ever.
Absolutely delighted to be going another week.